about life, and Who Moved My Cheese is a simple story of four characters that live in a maze and looking for cheese. Two of the four characters are Ham and Haw, who are little people and the size of mice. They are normal people just like humans. They rely on their emotions and experience in life to make achievements, but also like humans, they can become very comfortable and want to be the best to what is happening around them. The other two characters are Sniff and Scurry. They are mice. They rely on their feeling and their senses to everyday life. Although they are simple-minded and not very smart, they do not get emotionally when things work against them. They always adapt well, which allows them to maintain a productive life no matter how things change around them. The cheese represents different things to different people, and it is a metaphor for what keeps you going and what makes you happy. To some people, the cheese is money. To others, it is their toys or hobbies. And to some, it is just being able to live healthy and be happy, that you can have a good life and enjoy living it. When I read this book, I had to stop and think, what's my cheese? And I could not help but to wonder in my reading. The cheese is my hobbies, presents, and games. As I really began to see my life a little more, I realized that I am more than one cheese, and all of my cheese have been moved, sometimes more than once. And I thought that people need to be more hardworking or doing better at their life is a driving force to have their cheese. And I think people need to not only wanting their cheese, they need to work for it and not only dreaming. And people need to read this book and read the quotes written in the books and will think again at their life. Thank you for listening.
The book Who Moved My Cheese is a book that shows how to deal with changes. In the book, Sniff and Scurry always frantically ran around the cheese even if there were a lot of cheese. They always nibble at the cheese at night despite there plenty amount of cheese. Ham and Haw, the little people, walked around for cheese and ate the cheese in happiness because there were plenty of cheese. When I had read half of the book, I thought Ham and Haw were doing the right thing. Isn't it all right to enjoy while we can? So I asked my father about my opinion, and my father said that the mice were doing the right thing. At first, I disagreed with the idea, but a matter of fact that I hadn't read all the book, I shut my mouth and read the rest of the story. After reading the story, I realized that my opinion was wrong. Sniff and Scurry prepared for changes and happened at all maze, respond quickly and through the dangerous risk, achieve more cheese. Ham and Haw, however, stayed in fear of the cheeseless situation, but at the end, Haw went inside the maze to find new cheese and achieve various types of cheese. My father told me that staying in the position where it's safe can't achieve the goal. For an achievement, risk is needed. For example, there were two companies. One company was always prepared for changes of society, and the other was not. The company was just happy with the present situation. The first company will be a company like Samsung. To achieve goal, we always have to be prepared for changes and have to have risk. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
I am here to talk about what cheese is to our life. But before thinking about what cheese is to our life, let's talk about what will you do if you have cheese. To make you understand better, choose which side is better. Being happy now but having a hard time after the fun, or finishing all your work and having a fun time. I should admit that the time when you are having fun is similar in both sides, but what you feel while playing is different. Think about not doing your homework and playing. Would your heart be comfortable? So what I'm trying to say is that you can be happier when you face the hard part and have the fun part just a little later. So now let's talk about what is cheese to our life. I might be different with you, but I would say that my cheese always changes. To be honest, I'm not a good saver. I like spending money, so I always ask my father to buy me something. Then when I get the thing I want, like a bike 2 months ago or a gun which I bought a day before yesterday, well, I feel happy, but this happiness goes only for a month. So one day I got to know that this was not true happiness. Then I got to think about what is true happiness. In my opinion, I think the happiness you get after you have faced the hard part is true happiness because it will last forever, not by materials, but by your heart. To conclude, try to find your true happiness, even if you have to face the hard part first before the fun. Thank you.
Today, I'm going to talk about my experience in change. When I was in second grade, I moved to New York because of my dad's business. In the plane, I cried for hours. Also, in the first day of school, I couldn't even communicate with my friends. I even cried again and had to go home. But after a few weeks, I could understand and I did math very well. I think it's because I'm Korean, but anyway, so teachers and friends expected very much from me. One day, when I got 98% on my test, my friends would say like, "Why did you get 98%? You're so bad at math," even though they got like under 75%. But I got used to it. Also, after that, my friends started to call me teacher's pet, so I was very nervous when I go to school. But also because I was good at math, teachers gave me gifts and awards. 2 years later, I had to move back to Korea, where I live right now. In math, it was really hard, more than America, but it's okay now. From those adventures, I felt that sometimes changing is good for my future. When I read the part that said, "The quicker you let go of the old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy the new cheese," I thought that I was meant to read this book. Thank you for listening.
As I said before in my review, I said I couldn't understand the book at first, but now I can understand the story more. The whole story is like this. Ham, Haw, Sniff, and Scurry used time to find job, health, money, or happy life. One day, they found job or money which they have been looking for. Ham and Haw moved their houses to be closer to the cheese station C, which means a place where they work and earn money. But one morning, they couldn't work there anymore because of some reason. Sniff and Scurry understood the situation and decided to look for another job and earn a lot of money at the new job they found. Hem and Haw didn't want to change and waited for the company or business to take them in again. After a while, Hem still wanted to wait, but Haw was tired of waiting and realized that the company wouldn't take them in again. So Haw looked for a new job, but most of the jobs won't let Haw work for long. After some times, Haw finally finds the company his friend Sniff and Scurry had been working for and earned a lot of money. I learned that if I get fired or I can't work at my job, I shouldn't wait long for it to let me in again, but I should look for another job. I was surprised that this thin book can contain a lesson and a story about change in our life. And this story could mean the change of environment in our life. 4 characters need cheese, but the cheese is gone from the cheese station C. The environment changes, so Sniff and Scurry changes too. I made the cheese story about jobs and environment, but you can change it to any other way you want depending on how you think about the cheese. Thank you for listening.